Once upon a time, there lived a king who was incredibly lazy. He didn't think about his kingdom, nor did he do anything for its welfare. His daily schedule was made up of just three things: eating, sleeping, and resting. Because of his laziness, the people in his kingdom were unhappy. They longed for a ruler who would care for them and lead the kingdom towards prosperity. However, the king stayed unaware of their complaints and carried on with his relaxed lifestyle. As time went by, even the court ministers grew frustrated. They had made multiple attempts to help the king realize his duties, but he always refused to listen. His laziness became so severe that he gained so much weight, he could hardly move from his bed. Before long, word of the king's laziness reached the nearby kingdoms, and even enemy rulers began mocking him. This humiliation eventually struck the king deeply. One day, while looking at his reflection in the mirror, he felt ashamed of what he had become. He understood that if he kept living like this, his kingdom would fall apart. He needed to change, to become active and healthy again. Determined to find an answer, he made an announcement across the kingdom. "Whoever helps me get my fitness and strength back will receive a generous reward." Hearing this, the best physicians and healers in the land rushed to the palace. They prepared herbal tonics and medicines, assuring the king they would help him lose weight. Yet, despite taking them, his condition only worsened. Instead of losing weight, he kept gaining more. One day, an old sage arrived in the kingdom. He had heard of the king's situation and went to the palace guards. "I have a special remedy," he said confidently, "but the king must come to me himself. I do not visit royal courts, and the remedy will only work if I deliver it to him in person." When the guards shared the sage's message with the king, he was thrilled. Someone finally had a solution. But upon learning that he'd have to go to the sage himself, he became furious. "What nonsense is this?" he shouted. "I can't even get out of bed. How does he expect me to walk to him?" Still, the ministers urged him, "Your Majesty, this may be your final chance. Please, at least try." Realizing he had no other option, the king reluctantly pushed himself to sit up. With the help of his soldiers, he took a few small steps. Though it was incredibly hard, he kept at it, and slowly made his way to the sage's simple hut. When he arrived, he was told that the sage was away, and he'd have to return the next day for the remedy. The king was furious, but he had no choice. The following day, he again forced himself to walk to the sage's hut. This continued for several days, with the sage always giving some excuse and asking him to return the next day. Without realizing it, the king was walking more each day. After a month, the sage finally handed the king a cup of plain water. He chanted a few prayers over it and gave it to him, saying, "Drink this and you will be cured." The king drank it eagerly, then asked, "What is this magical remedy called? How is it made? My royal physicians must learn the recipe." The sage smiled and said, "Your Majesty, this is nothing special. It's just ordinary water." The king was stunned. "Then how did I lose weight?" he asked. The sage laughed and replied, "You were never healed by any magic. You healed yourself. For the past month, you have walked to my hut every day. Your effort, your willpower, and your persistence made you healthy again. There is no shortcut, only hard work." The king stood silent. He realized how foolish he had been, waiting for an easy fix when all he truly needed was effort and consistency. From that moment on, he took control of his life and his kingdom, becoming an active and wise ruler. Lesson: this story reminds us that there are no shortcuts to success or self-improvement. Often, we search for an easy way out, hoping for a miracle to fix our problems. But the real solution lies within our own actions. Challenges push us beyond our comfort zones and help us grow. Like the king, we must take ownership of our lives, put in the work, and not depend on quick fixes. True success is built on perseverance, discipline, and dedication. If you loved this story and felt inspired by its message, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends and family. Let's spread the value of hard work and determination together. And if you'd like to hear more stories like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support keeps us going and helps us bring you more meaningful stories. See you in the next video.